Hello, everyone. Sandra here, and as I sit in March 13th, looking out my window, it is snowing, and it has been snowing like all day. Pretty sure. Don't know how this works, but I'm pretty sure January and March went to like a swap meet and decided to exchange weather because we had some unseasonably warm days in January, and now it's snowing in March, in the middle of March. A month later than I would have expected snow. Like, typically, actually, in truth, we, around here in the Pacific Northwest, if we're going to get snow, it's usually, not always, but usually in February, more so than other months. That tends to be the snowiest month of the year for certain definitions of snowy. But it's like probably a few degrees Celsius right now, if I had to guess. I don't know. It's like 35 degrees Fahrenheit is when we checked. So, and what that translates to is some very like wet, sticky snow. And the end result of that is this stuff is really bending plants over. It's bending trees, making branches fall out. We had a windstorm not that long ago either, like earlier in the week. So it's nature's been handing a lot to us here. But yeah, it's been some weather. I hope everyone is doing well. I myself have not gotten enough sleep this week. Doing okay. A little tired though. Anyway, I decided I wanted to continue getting this monk through ye old Nightfall. There's some skills I'd like to pick up here. And she's basically pretty far through everything else. I think last time I beat... Yeah. I've got some cleanup in Isle Maguma to do, but outside of that, that's pretty wrapped up. And I think my Shiro's return is... Yeah, I'm through Gyala Hatchery, which means I'm pretty deep into that as well. So this is the main campaign that she still needs to make progress in. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make some progress. Make sure I get at least one screenshot. Man, it is... Like, the intensity of the snow is varied throughout the day, but it is really going right now. It's so pretty. I love snow. It's so nice and cozy. Obviously, it does create a lot of issues, especially in an area that doesn't get it a whole lot. We just don't have as much for handling it, because, like, you know, if everything has to shut down for, I don't know, 2 days maybe, it's not great, but it's like whatever. It's like manageable. So they are really determined to throw junk on me, aren't they? Stop bleeding out, Cormier. Anyway. I'm just really... I love snow, so I'm really enjoying getting to actually have some this year. Because once February is over, I thought we weren't going to get any. It's like, you know, trees have been, like, budding, flowers are out. I mean, it's the early spring, but still, like, very much so, like, spring has started, and now it's vigorously snowing. And it's a winter wonderland out there. And it's like, what? Anyway, that's probably enough talking about the weather. It's just really cool weather. The weather is underrated as a conversation topic. Yeah, I meant to hit 6, not 5. Not exactly broken up that it didn't work. Realistically, Heaven's Delight on this bar doesn't make a whole lot of sense when I have... I mean, this is doing a similar thing, right? Except it's on a shorter recharge. So I probably should have had some sort of cleansing skill here. It would be really nice to have a skill that was non-elite that could remove a condition and a hex. But on the other hand, that might be nice enough that it's a good reason not to have that as a skill. Somebody went and installed a tattoo on that cemetery. Don't ask me how they did it. Why should I know? Do I have... Okay. Probably got that in Tonikai. That would make the most sense. That's why that guy wasn't doing any damage. Level 10. Excuse me. Yeah, I went to Magic event last night, and I tend to be bad about getting to sleep after going to those. So I'm definitely underslept and tired. Had a lot of fun, though. Didn't do super well. We did a draft of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles set, and not too popular at my LGS. So we were planning on doing 2 drafts, but it's going to be back to Lorna Eclipse next week. Which I'm a little sad about, but... You know, if people aren't interested, then they're not interested, and that's that. Universes Beyond has definitely been very hit or miss in terms of interest at my LGS. People are really interested in Final Fantasy and Avatar especially. Like, Avatar was really interesting to a lot of people. I like Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I'm not like... I didn't watch it as a kid, right? So it doesn't have that sort of nostalgia for me. It's like a show that I watched as an adult and was like, yeah, this is a pretty competent kids movie, or like kids thing, or like something that can be fun, enjoyable for the whole family, right? With good lessons for people to learn and... But, you know, it's not the sort of thing, like, if I think of childhood nostalgia, I think of, like, Hexen, Quake, Doom, Batman Forever. Majora's Mask and Wind Waker. Tales of Symphonia, to an extent as well. Tales of Symphonia is especially lodged in my brain. A weird one. What's the proper reaction to that? Because, like, you use a skill and it goes away. Probably to use a signet, actually. Now I want to make sure I'm killing the monk early enough that I can capture off of it. So we'll probably actually sweep these a different direction than I usually do, because I think the monk is at the northwest side over here. Because I think I can get Balthazar's pendulum out here. Where's this captain? I think this is going to be blue, I think. Pretty solid heal. Yeah. It was correct. I don't know where else you can capture Balthazar's pendulum. I don't think I care. I've decided I don't care. It's not a good skill, but it is a skill that I need to have unlocked. You know, the thing is, a lot of these skills would feel a lot better. Like, if this was enchanted each ally. Things like that, it would feel a lot better. I don't know. It's hard. This feels like a skill designed for PvP, honestly, where it's like, oh, they're going to spike this person, so I'll put Balthazar's Pendulum on them, so when they do the knockdown. But then the problem is you're spending your elite slot on it, and yeah, you can do yourself with it, but like, it's definitely not a skill I would use on a primary monk. It's a skill that I would use on somebody who's secondary monk and is like dipping into something, but even then I'm not sure who I'd like. In what situation would that be a key thing that I want as part of my strategy, you know? That's the issue. Man, Healing Breeze is nice. It's just a bunch of weak enemies, and it covers up all of that those little bits of damage. Hitting that guy for 50 with my wanding. Yeah, that's how you know he's weak. Cover up a lot of condition stuff, too, with it. Pretty convenient. Okay, I need to clear out this Corsair camp. And thinking of Magic the Gathering, now that we've gone back to Lorwyn, I really hope we go back to Alara. I hope that they give it more of the Tarkir Dragonstorm treatment than the Lorwyn Eclipse treatment. I don't know. I've talked about it before. We'll see how I feel with a few more drafts under my belt, but I've not been particularly enthusiastic about Lorwyn Eclipsed. I think the set does some interesting stuff. It doesn't quite land nostalgia right for me, and that is like a bit disappointing. It's weird though. Like, I have a lot of nostalgia for stuff from goodness 20 years ago. I think that's probably a pretty nostalgia forming time. I'll be curious to see what 2 weeks does with this game, incidentally. They've been experimenting with getting their workflow updated to be able to support more of a variety of things. Like making quests and stuff, which is definitely an interesting, like, there's a lot of Eye of the North dungeon space that could probably be made use of. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to make sure I fix that. Not important right now though. Okay. Time to trigger this bit. It would be cool for them to add the catacombs as a post-searing dungeon as well, the Ascalonian Catacombs. I don't know. I'm again, like, I can't speculate about what they're gonna do. I'm gonna be curious to see. A Sun Spear never fights alone. I've been thinking about the Char. I think they can be domesticated. That's a certain thinking for sure. Okay, to the consulate. Drake kebabs. Yeah, I wish those were easier to get, given how important they are to some of the quests. I think there's like 2 quests that need them. What's this cutscene again? I don't remember it. I'm gonna watch it.
Cormier, why have you gathered your sun spears? Varish has denied your charges and banned your followers from Corna.
I feared as much. As of this moment, Varish, Ossa, and her supporters are enemies of Alona and of the Sun Spears.
Varish is warned and ready for us now. We must sail for Gandhara and confront her before it's too late.
Istani ships would be of great help.
You would plunge Alona into civil war. We have not yet exhausted diplomatic channels.
With respect, Elder, we know what we have seen with our own eyes. Varish is a danger. It is our duty as Sun Spears to defend Alona.
My Sun Spears will perform their duties with or without your aid, Elder. Will the Istani fleet support us or not?
Yes. Yes, we shall. And may the 5 gods preserve us all.
I think I would have to scour the dialogue, but I think they definitely emphasize the 5 gods concept a lot more in this, and like prophecies, for example, or Flopper or watch it. Factions probably would have just said gods, because they're trying to set up the stuff with Abaddon being the secret 6th god. Ooh. Huh. I don't think I've really looked at the Astani investments. I mean, this account is not at the point of cosmetics, for lack of a better word. Cosmetic considerations, but... right. Yes. Things and stuff and stuff and things. This thing and stuff right here. Yeah, I don't think I need that. So let's just diversify. Okay. I do want to go over there, but I think it makes a lot of sense to grab these quests, and especially to just go get those guys. Let's just start here. I need to go talk to Figo. Heroes. Gwen, get your butt in here. Oh. I think I need a second healer, so I'm just gonna slot in Mox. I think it was this Milani that I upgraded with the scythe, right? Yeah. Oh right, she's got this fast casting thing. Mox is nothing going special for him. But he is set up to punch things in the face, so that's what matters. Yeah, whatever. This seems fine. I'm not gonna stress out too much about any of this. Oh yeah, I can start the War in Kryta. Let's not worry about that right now. At some point in time, I'm also going to need to go in here and do the mocks. I have the owner's manual right here. I'm going to want to do that at some point. Also, I'm going to need to clear out my inventory. I should do that while I'm here. Oh, whatever. Yeah, let's just go. I'll clear that out at some point in time. Go get him. I'm gonna stick Milani on aggressive. I'll regret it in a bit. The thing is, the Dervs also have healing. It's like they're gonna spend that when people are at 20% down is overkill. Mox has some healing too. With the Avatar of Dwayna, but neither here nor there. Let's see. Yeah, I can't fully do that quest. Because you need to go to TOA for it. And the... Do you need to go to the marketplace? I don't know. You do need to... The big thing is you need to be in Vabi for that leg of it. Well, I have a party, though. It might not be a bad idea to go grab the quest from... I don't really feel like traveling through the falls, but what you gonna do? There's like nothing for me to do against these guys. The minions are honestly doing a lot of the work. Although I wish he was using a better spell. That's my health. And see, the dervs are on top of it. Imbue health. Let's top everyone off. Need to wait for this to play out. Yeah, no, they're not Mersat. Also, I would kill Mersat just as well. Hey, Elias. Probably should go unlock him soon. I do think I'll make that trip to get the quests. It's, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh yeah, I need to do that too. Ah, okay. I just need to hit. Okay, yeah. I'm remembering how this works. Man, them fat snowflakes dropping. I still need to turn this quest in. I don't think I'm going to get anything from it, but... Or nothing of particular note, but... That's right. I do this, and that allows me to be able to get the images
Why are you
in.
bothering me?
50,000 experience points and 10 plat is no joke. Yep, okay. I guess I want to go
You
back
need
now.
me?
Oh. We want to leave now. Okay, cool. That was less involved than I remembered it being, or thought it. I remember the part at the end where you turn it in and you have to go there, and wow, this warrior is at the perfect height for hugs. Okay. Anyway, let's go this direction. And grab Elias, because I want to start getting experience points on him. I might as well. A lot of these things are probably not worth a whole lot. Lurk Arlon, pleased to meet you. Thank you. I want to get some runes on Elias, but only after he levels up. I'm probably going to do the typical thing I do with him. Okay, let's just go investigate sell price for all this random junk I've got. It's like, if some of it's actually got some value to it, I want to make sure I identify it, but like this Spalder at 32 is probably good enough. Well, it betrayed me. Tattooed Scimitar looks like it's kind of a neat skin. Yeah, a lot of this is just not worth very much. I might identify this raiment, though. Yeah, a little bit better. Okay, let's just clear all this junk out. Valuable enough junk, though. Okay, hang on. Hot Springs or Beetleton best to leave from? Let's go from Beetleton. Just it uncovers part of the map, I guess. I want those ones. Okay. And the ones I have clicked open. Okay, Elias. Elias is a little bit awkward right now to make good use of, just because his level is low and he's not well set up as a result. More heavily in blood magic than anything else. I mean, ideally I'd have him like 8 death magic and then whatever, but the chant is in here somewhere. Found it. I don't know why I was whispering. Dark Bond, Bip. Masochism for slightly stronger minions. These two, because why not? I'm just going to stick the bar on him and it'll get better over time. I don't know what I want the last skill to be. There's definitely some choices. Blood Bond is nice for keeping minions alive. I think I'm just going to go with remove hacks, honestly. Yeah, that seems fine. I could go with Deathly Swarm, but I don't think it contributes that much relative to what other characters are adding. Um, Man, I miss the way we built minion masters back in the day. Like back in the day, what you'd do is gonna sound weird, but you would have an MM with Vrata Sacrifice and Heal Area. Vrata Sacrifice got curb stomped, so it's mostly Blood of the Master now that you would use. But Heal Area would heal your minions and yourself, which was quite useful. Yeah, please don't attack with that on you, though. Oh, Warren Kryda has begun. Neat. Oh, know why it would have begun, but that's what the Shining Blade recruits are about. It's the early stages of it. They gave you these to kind of like flesh out the size of your party, which I think was a very reasonable decision to make, but they're not always the best of following you around. Yeah, okay. Warren Kryda has officially begun. I should talk to Moreau then. Perhaps a snack time. A deal? What kind of deal? Joke's on you, I only have 0 gold on me. Yeah, cat ears really don't work so well on a bald character. Eh. There. I knew that encounter was likely coming when I saw the recruits. I might have quests that I need to do in the Ascalonian settlement as well. I should do those since we're right next to them. Yeah, that just gives me Blood of the Master, which is not terribly exciting for this character. I mean, I can use it. It will heal all allied minions, not your minions specifically. It's also death magic, not blood magic. All of your undead allies are healed, right? It'd be really interesting if there's a way to play a character that was an undead that would then get healed by that, but there's not. Anyway, I'm gonna go do this while I'm in the area and stuff. Seems reasonable. I mean, I'm gonna go back to Nightfall soon, but what do I get for having Melanion aggressive? This fights goes to fight random Tengu. Not especially helpful, but that'll clear up this inventory slot, I guess. It's not like super important, but it'll be nice. Oh yeah, Inquisitor Bauer is harassing Farmer Dirk. Hey, Snakebite. Hello, Yak Yak Gaming. Maybe today. I'm not streaming at a great time for a lot of my regular viewers. They tend to be available earlier in the day. Streaming a little bit late. It's been snowing and all sorts of stuff, so I've had a later, longer morning, I suppose you could say. I'm quite fond of it too. Its build system is really good, and its combat works well for making the build system fun. Anyway, I have some blankets for this guy. Hey, Dead on Stick. I don't know what times are good for you, Dead on Stick. I just know that when I streamed earlier in the day yesterday, a bunch of people dropped by, and then like halfway through the stream, a bunch of people were like, okay, I have to go now. So. Is there some sort of interaction that I can actually have here? Oh yeah, this bow. And I wish they did more weird stuff like this. Received physical damage -2 in a stance. Ah. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Also, daylight saving time has come into effect, so that definitely is going to affect some of the like relative timing. Whereas I'm West Coast America. And those are big snowflakes. Oh, I was just here to deliver blankets. Don't mind me. Did Bauer leave already? You guys are going to make me work for, aren't you? Elias, I understand that you are weak on account of being low level, but this is ridiculous. European, Middle East, Africa. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I haven't looked at a lot of the sort of what those time zones look like. Well, that was a strange experience in my life. I hope that guy doesn't show up back up. Doesn't show back up when you realize the scoundrel's rise is full of nothing but scales and mergoyles. Hello, I want to pronounce that eagle. Is that supposed to be pronounced eagle? Welcome, and welcome, Raiders. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well today. Right. I wanted to drop off blankets. Okay, let's go grab Zenmai. Excellent. Donkey, and I guess I'll flesh out the party with Mox. So for everybody who's like new here and doesn't know exactly what I'm doing, the stream is titled "The Quest for UAS." UAS is Unlock All Skills. This is a new account, relatively speaking, that I made like 2 years ago, roughly. Oh, that's why the age command exists. For the past, let's see, 27 months. So, yeah, a little bit over 2 years. But like, there's a bunch of time where I was not as active in doing stuff. So the point of it was my main account has been all skills unlocked for a really long time. And I kind of wanted to get the experience of like, okay, what's a fresh account? I mean, they were having a really good sale all the time. It's like, okay, what's a fresh account's experience like going through the process of unlocking all skills? Basically. Because I was curious about that. I was curious how it would affect how I'd make builds and all that sort of stuff. Because I've done a lot of things to experiment with Buildcraft. I have a here this program that I'd made in order to be able to do challenges. So like I can generate codexes of skills. These are not updated with the updates, but it's like different ways of limiting different things that I have access to or that I'm using. Skill Booster League was another neat idea for that. And so it was like, you know, when they did it, I finally was like, okay, I'll make a secondary account. And so I've been slowly working on unlocking all skills. So it has been a long process of getting my characters through the campaigns, and I definitely should have focused perhaps at some point in time more on getting them through stuff. But he worked in a bank and had meeting rooms called New York or Paris, so we could call people in the subway and tell them we meet them 9 a.m. at Paris to feel important. Of course. Okay, I need to navigate properly by not looking at chat. That is not in the direction of my destination. So I have 8 characters across this account, and I've been like kind of simultaneously moving them through all of the same stuff. And I started with like a bunch of characters going through prophecies and so on and so forth. And so it's just been this whole thing where I've been never know quite what the most optimal route is to this spot, because the streets here are not what we would call laid out on a grid. Hang on, I'm rearranging some water cups because I just emptied one. But yeah, so I've been working to unlock skills, and I've gotten a lot of like solid baseline of stuff. So at this point, what I really need to do is progress characters. But every now and then I trip across a skill that I'm like, I wish I had that skill. The other thing too is there's been some planning to try to not overlap skill acquisition too much. Like, I want to get Mending Touch, I think it is, the 5 energy, 6-second recharge, heal target touched ally of 2 conditions, and they recover some health for each condition removed. I want to get that on my warrior, my whammo. And so not on this character, and I just haven't gotten that character there yet, but every now and then I'm like, oh, I wish I had this skill, and Brian here tends to die to these guys, so we'll see if I can keep him alive. Whew. There's not really a reason to keep him alive, it's just a matter of he typically dies there, so it feels special to keep him alive. Okay, this goes back up this way. Hang on, I'm gonna... Okay, yeah, and then that goes up that way. So it's definitely a weirdly convoluted path. Kaineng City is really cool. I do think that there's a lot of it. Like, if you look at each individual zone, they're all a little bit different. But, like, if you feel the overall gestalt, I think it does kind of start to feel like a bit too much for a lot of people. But you also kind of just need a lot of maps of it to make it feel like it's a big city. So I like how large it is in that regard, and all of the little differences. Yeah, I would like... So I've been enjoying Guild Wars 2 reasonably well. I do think Guild Wars 2 doesn't have as good of a build system, and it's hampered because of legendaries. But I would like to go back to Cantha, and in particular, they put a bunch of hints about stuff with the Celestial Ministry that I'd like to see them dig into. Yeah, there's some really cool spots in End of Dragons. I've been enjoying what they've done with Janthia Wilds and Secrets of the Obscure and Castora as well. Well, this is awkward. One person I can't heal conditions off of is myself. Alani can get them off of, although, if she feels so inclined. There's nothing wrong with being a casual gamer. I'm glad somebody is enjoying fishing. I'm not a big fan of fishing mini games in most games that I've experienced them in. Fishing's okay in Pokemon. I do think the cod swimming amongst mere minnows title is brilliant, and whoever came up with that name like deserves a high five at least. Just a lot of high fives. Okay, Dunkoro, I don't know what's going on with you, bud, but you're taking far too much pain to the face. I don't like that. There's a lot of things that I really like about Guild Wars 2. It's neat to see somebody in here who loves it so much. For me, I want the build system to feel more enjoyable for me, but one of the big problems that I have is how much it wants legendaries for buildcraft exploration because of the ability to swap your stats freely with them. Which you just, like, in this game you can swap your stats freely here, but in Guild Wars 2 it's just like you have so many different slots of equipment that you have to change, and it makes it hard to experiment with buildcraft. Yeah. That's large. I do think Guild Wars 2 does a lot of really cool aesthetic stuff, and I enjoy fashion in it. Both games are, like, surprisingly different, though. Yeah, it took ages to unlock the Griffin. I did it quite a while ago now, but it took quite some time. Probably my current long-range endeavor, though, that's taking a lot of time, is trying to get the legendary relic. They want so much Lucent Crystal. I seriously think somebody meant to put Lucent Motes and put Lucent Crystal by mistake. That's the only conclusion I have. Like... That's neat. Yeah, I started playing Guild Wars 2 when it first came out. But I ended up realizing that I wasn't having fun playing it and falling off. I don't know exactly where that was. Heart of Thorns, maybe. It was actually probably before Heart of Thorns, and I popped back in to try Heart of Thorns, and then didn't feel like it did enough for me. And eventually enough people were like, no. The stuff that they did with Path of Fire and everything, like, they've done a lot of things to address the gameplay. And so I finally, like, a couple years ago, decided to give it a try again. And I'm like, okay, the people who said that were right. And they have done enough to address the gameplay issues that I had. So I missed, like, all of the Living World Season 1 stuff, and caught back in with Season 2. And some Heart of Thorns stuff. At some point in time, once I finish unlocking all skills, and then I want to do a playthrough of Middle-earth Shadow of War. But once I've done that, I want to do a playthrough of Guild Wars 2 where I turn off the minimap and have to like actually learn how to navigate the maps with my eyeballs instead of staring at the basically like this the entire time. Because like part of what makes Tangled Depths so bad is that the Guild Wars 2 teaches you to navigate with the minimap, and then that completely and utterly does not work in Tangled Depths. It's too intricate. You have to actually like look at the maps and understand how the various parts of it fit together. They did a lot of really interesting stuff with it. With Heart of Thorns. I do hope we get some follow-up with the Pale Tree, because they've hinted at stuff going on in through Kaith in some of the more recent stuff, but I'd like to go back and like learn more. I don't know. I'm curious for Kastora, but I do, and where that ends up going. Okay, these guys jump us as we go through here. I always am kind of surprised by those Ampha. I, for some reason, shouldn't. I don't feel like I should be because they always ambush you, but like I want to go like exactly like you said. I want to explore Cantha more. I want to honestly, I want to explore Cantha more. I would love to see more stuff in with the human gods and the god realms and such. I know we got some of that in various parts, but that was a completely unnecessary heal. How does this play out? This guy eventually attacks us. I'm realizing that I'm not looking forward to having to try to figure out how I'm going to beat stuff in the Norn fighting tournament. Probably going to be a bit before I go in there. I might want to get like Shield of Judgment and like Dervish maybe? That's cool. Okay, more spawns, please. This is such a weird quest because it feels like the spawn rate for the Ampha is a little weird. Because it feels like it's bugging out or something, but no, you're just waiting for more Ampha to appear so you can kill them, and then finally the torment demons. And it's like, okay. But where are the Ampha? It definitely feels bugged or something where the spawn rate is just lower than it should be. I wonder if there's a bunch of things that they have on timers and they timed it out for like what people were typically doing at the time, and then we've just optimized buildcraft so much in this game that it no longer makes sense. And then but this wait is way too freaking long. Come on. There's more of the Ampha. Yeah, now we have the Torment Demons. Need to make sure Milani or Zenmai survives more than anyone else. Okay. Clerk Arlon to get Zenmai in my party. Sounds good. Also, while I'm here, I should just stop by House of Heltzer and turn in this. Grab Defenders of the Forest. We need to do this eventually anyway. I just don't want to do it right now. Okay. Commandant. Jewel of Easton. Let's make sure Elias is in here. Wow. It's still just going with the snow out there. Like the snowman. Hello, snowman. Oh, right. I got this. What is this? Superior critical strikes. This is almost certainly worth more to the merchant. But, that's fine. Okay, hang on. What I should do here is I should get some of the runes that I know I'm going to want. Double check that thing's value too, which is probably low is my guess. Super critical strikes does not sound like a valuable rune to me. It is not. Minor critical strikes is. I'm going to grab major critical strikes and major dagger mastery for Zenmai, as well as the minor and deadly arts and shadow arts. Undertakers, yeah. Probably not going to bother to rune them up. I will grab a bloodstained insignia though. Yeah, minor blood. A little bit pricey right now. Do I care that much about it? Might have minor curses floating around. Probably want to put that on him. Minor blood is worth it right now. I'm going to want to eventually give him a soup death as well. So let's grab that for the future. But I want to avoid putting that on him. Wow, 200G with fishing is a lot. Okay. Elias. Bloodstain. Bloodstain always goes on boots. The original Bloodstain insignia effect was on boots. You see why it goes there. Minor blood. Sure, I can go there. Soul Reaping. We'll give him his soup death later. Okay, Zenmai. Yeah, Dagger Hat. Deadly Arts. And Shadow Arts. I don't know why. I just have a habit of putting Vigor on... Oh yeah, Survivor worth anything right now? Not enough. I have a habit of putting Vigor on chest pieces, and I think it's just because they're the most expensive and you're probably not going to change them out, but... Honestly, I haven't really dug into the fishing system in Guild Wars 2 that much. I know that you need... There's the food that improves your fishing rate, and that seems pretty important. That was secretly highly salvageable in the midst of everything else that was. But beyond that aspect of it, like I usually only do the fishing when it's like, do 5 fishing for one of the dailies. And there's a lot, like it is a shockingly involved system, like more so than I would have expected them to have done. Okay, let's do... Man, I love... Where is this map? Right down here. The bog down here. Its aesthetics remind me really strongly of, there's a swamp level in Hexen that has similar sound effects, and so it like is extremely nostalgic feeling for me. Okay, I'm gonna want Milani. I'm gonna want Donkey. I'm gonna want Gwen and the Ellies. Here is my crew. Irresistible Sweep is good. I don't know if she's removing her things often enough. Okay. I'm gonna drop that so she can have slightly more shadow arts. It's not really a good balance point for her right now. Dash is nice. Those are good. Shroud of Distress is really good. It must fall an offhand attack, so it comes before the attack. I'm gonna give her Heart of Shadow also. Oh yeah, she needs an elite, and I have like very few assassin elites. I could give her Palm Strike, which doesn't seem that exciting. I'm actually just gonna give her Empathic Removal because that's really nice utility. Elias is fine. You can keep doing that. Oh, except he's gotten the level, so he's not fine. There. That's better. Okay. I know I like tanked Zenmai's max HP and not Elias's. But I'd rather the Minion Master be more durable, so. Anything else that I want to bring with me here? I don't think so. I think we're good. Our squad is ready to board. It is cool to hear that there's like guilds dedicated to fishing and they really love fishing and all of that, and Guild Wars 2. Actually be some stuff that might be good for Chillblains, but it's when there's the mass groups of dervs that actually Chillblains would be good. Okay. Check out these bowmen. The thing that's dangerous about these bowmen is if they spike you. What is... Do I have any Zyshin stuff on me? Waking Waters, Warbrand of Brothers... Nothing super notable. Okay. I don't know. Let's just target those. The interrupt from the sieges is particularly annoying. It's not hard to take out these groups, though, and it's absolutely worth it. I wonder if Light of Deliverance would actually be fairly reasonable to be including. I could actually see it being not bad on Dunkoro. I think the Healing Light, though, is quite useful on him because it allows him to keep stuff topped off where... Man, those snowflakes are enormous. I know I keep talking about them, but, like, they really are particularly impressive snowflakes. I think if you take out Lumanda quickly, it actually decreases the rate at which, like, this encounter ends faster. It skips spawns, I believe. Yeah, this is where we get a bunch of zealots attacking us, where it might be useful to have Chillblains. Although they went down super fast, so I don't know. I'm not really paying much attention to the combat, to be honest. I am focused on health bars. Get that Siege Engineer. Elias is leveled up again, which is good. Did we get interrupted by another siege effect? Okay. I definitely don't feel like I need my cleansing skills. They are feeling really redundant. I don't tend to use Flesh Golem, but it is a strong minion. I'm just using Bone Horrors and Shambling Horrors. I like that Shambling Horrors leave behind a guy when it dies. Enchantment stripping, you say? What did it even have on me? I think I could actually do that. Does he have... Oh, Sunspear Battle Call affects hero. That would make sense. Yeah, Zenmai's got more HP as well. Okay, I'm going to want to take a moment to see how it's futzing with her attributes, if at all. Because that's important to know. It's hard to say. Looks like this is being... Yeah, it's being boosted by 2. I'm not sure what's driving it. $13.98. Okay, I'm not really sure what it's doing with attributes. It's definitely doing some sort of something, but... We're gonna hit a cutscene in a second here. I don't need that, thanks. I know about the door. Okay. If I could ask you to stop interrupting me, that would be fantastic. I am a bit concerned about this boss. That's gonna hurt. Okay, that's fine. If Zenmai can grab the captain's ire, everyone else survives better. I wonder if her armor is low. That would actually not surprise me if Zenmai had low armor due to her low... My goodness, you can see how fast she gets experience points when she died and already only has 1% death penalty. You lose death penalty for every 75 experience you get, so... The fact that her death penalty is melted off of her is definitely a sign of things. I'm not going to worry too much about her attribute points right now. This doesn't seem worth worrying about when she's got weird effects on her affecting them. Okay, well, that maybe should have been Zenmai, not me. Good job. Nakai Sosuke. There we go. Cleared out all those groups. Steel Dagger's probably elite salvage to steal, right? Expert salvage, whatever they want to call it. Well, that was disappointing. Give me your mats. No. Whatever. Oh. Ebon Dagger Tang would allow me to use Ebon Dust Aura on my assassin. And I'm going to be honest, I don't care about that right now. And it's probably going to be a while before I do care about that. There's our master's reward. Varys blows up some statues. Or, not statues, murals. Yep. Koss gets captured. Everyone mourns. Then we talk to Zudesh Jaren, aka Koss's dad. It's time to head towards the Sunspear. What will become the Sunspear Sanctuary? Yeah, see, that's more like what I'm expecting. Oh, I know why it's boosted, because he has masochism. I'm a goof for forgetting that. Let's pump her critical strikes. If I can get her critical strikes up to 13, it's gonna help her energy management a great deal. Yeah, I forgot he had masochism boosting several of his attributes. That's why. Yeah, I mean, it was boosting their health, but... I think I might just give him that superior death now, because... +4 to death magic is too great to ignore. Virtuosos. That one might have some value. Beastmasters. Beastmasters is one that also could arbitrarily just have value because people like pets. And that sometimes means pet stuff is worth stuff. Oh yeah, I also felt I didn't need these cleansing skills on my bar, so I'm going to take them off. I'm going to put on Spirit and Shield Guardian, I think. I like those two. Spirit is definitely an emergency button, though. Shield Guardian is a nice, everyone's being attacked. Let's, like, mitigate some damage and heal up. Okay. I'm going to be able to do a bunch of skill capping soon, but first steps first, getting the Sun Spear Sanctuary unlocked. It's just some bugs. I say dismissively. Even as we get surrounded by bugs. Okay, we definitely didn't need a Pro Spirit Dunkoro, but I fat fingered. Ah, yeah. How you doing, Elias? Bippin'. Ow. If you wanted to tell me it was like December, I'd believe you right now. Yeah. I know I keep talking about it, but like seriously, it does not snow here very often, and this is just an unusually large amount of snow, and it's freaking March. And it's just like, what is even happening? It's so strange. I'm gonna have the Prospera stripped. It's not really ideal. I guess the minions make Shield Guardian a little bit less useful. Affects party members. But if the minion is absorbing hits, then it's not gonna trigger. On the other hand, if it doesn't trigger because everybody's attacking minions, it doesn't really matter. It is a not problem at that point. Yeah, level 19 minions. Good stuff, good stuff. These cornered spotters have massive aggro ranges. I'm not really sure what their math is on that, but it is big. Oh good, Zen might leveled up. Elias did a couple of bips there, it looks like. Judging by the amount of HP that was suddenly vanished. Wait for them to catch up. The minions, I mean. Alderman Bossy. And English is so ridiculous for having like a dozen vowel sounds and 5 vowel characters. It's bizarre. Also makes it hard to indicate which vowel sound you actually are wanting at any given time. It's probably more complicated than that because of things like diphthongs or whatever, but I should look up monk elites in Korna once I'm done claiming this. I'm not sound highly specific, but there's elite skills bicycle acquisition location or something like that. It's not quite the. Let's see. Nightfall elite skill list. None in Archrock Ward. Interesting. Battle Cavern says Balthazar's Pendulum, but I already grabbed that. Doshka Inlet does have Zealous Benediction, but that's kind of a special case. We're not rushing to that either. Floodplain of Manklon has Signet of Removal. Not sure if I'm going to want Signet of Removal on, though. I might actually want to capture that on my Warrior. Because it's like a really weird skill. And Warriors are more likely to want to do something with Signets. It's not a skill I tend to favor particularly much. I might let the cutscene play while I do some wiki investigation. For elite skills I'll have in the general area that I might want to go capture. We'll talk about an invulnerability cheat for a little bit anyway. I can hear other members of my family exclaiming about, what is the snow? It's March. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There's cutscene. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll spend extra to do that quest.
The purity of the water is restored. And with it, we gain a base of operations.
A place to rest.
A place to plan.
A place from which to strike back against Varish.
Margaret Coast has Light of Deliverance.
General Morgan. General Bale. How goes the search for survivors?
Those traitorous Sunspear dogs are scattered across Korna. We are picking them off one by one.
Do you need any reinforcements from Jahai?
Reinforcements? They are broken. No threat at all.
No threat? I have always found the Sun Spears to be very resourceful.
Don't worry, General. They have no place to hide unless the ground itself swallows them up.
Ominous. Okay. So just from a casual investigation, I guess we'll call it. It looks like there is an elite over here-ish that I can go capture, which I think I shall do now. Yes, 2 segments of capture. Perfect, perfect. Okay. That is back towards Margaret Coast, so that's going to be kind of the best way to get over there. This way, I guess, maybe. It's a lot easier to navigate in Guild Wars 2 when you can do so on a mount and jump around more quickly. But then you also always warp in at a bad spot. I don't know, this outpost is like inconvenient no matter which game you play it in. Frankly, it's too big. Too spread out. Again, I'm hearing people talk about the stuff that's been going on weather-wise. I can't emphasize just how like strange and unusual the current weather going on is. It is very odd. Rune Trader here. I think I'll go talk to them about these virtuosos. Might be worth something. 110. Let's do VS Beastmaster. No. Okay. Neither of these are particularly worth anything. Didn't really know what to expect from them, to be honest. I'm identifying these things because identifying stuff increases their sale value. And typically it's by enough that it's worth doing. Not guaranteed, of course. Is there a regular, ordinary, boring merchant around? Yes, there is. Judula. Yes, please take these things. ID kit. Another backup to hang around. Okay. Looks like there's an insect boss somewhere. This general direction. Might as well veer towards this. Look for a priest. Once I've done that, I think my priority should be heading over to Nundu Bay down there, because I'm going to be fairly close to it. Oh yeah, here's the boss I need right here. Light of the Blind. It turns out to be right next to this spot, so that's nice. Good job, Elias, for running away. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm doing. I feel like most of what my build is put Healing Breeze on somebody and then ignore them, because everyone else in my party with heals is going to keep them alive. Okay. Light of Deliverance. Yeah, that's reasonable. 70 HP to all party members. Don't yet have Heal Party unlocked on this character, and I'm definitely going to want it on her eventually, but... My goodness. Again, I'm looking out my window, and I'm just seeing fat snowflakes continuing to fall, just continuously. And it is so strangely unexpected at this time of year. Hopefully the door is open. They're closed in the distance right now. There's a cleave boss around here somewhere too that drops an... Okay, the door's open. It drops an axe. Chore, I believe. CHOR. There we go. I'm going to slot Healing Burst back on. Another Signet of Capture, because I want to go grab Glimmering Light. I'm going to go double check which spot I was in. Let's see, that was Light of Deliverance that I just captured. Great skill, that one. Tries Procession for Glimmer of Light. Okay. I'm going to grab the command post quest. I'd like to unlock another hero skill trainer. Yeah, that's the Necro Armor that I feel like goes lower than it. Oh, it's kind of weird in the way that it displays itself. I'm not going to elaborate. I'm going to deposit my platinum. I'm going to need to get more Signets of Capture at some point in time here, too. Okay. Dunkoro. Is one of these in Tries Procession? That's fine. Yeah, this is the one that's the most... Anyway, right now I'm going to go to Tries Procession. Not that, but... I'm going to want to do that quest because that quest is the one that unlocks the NPC that I want, so... I feel like this is the map that I don't think about as much as the other ones. There is one in the floodplain of Macklon over here. No, that's Arctic War. Floodplain of Macklon's over this way. But I feel like this boss is more over there. Yeah, Chiosen Soothing Breeze. That's the boss that I need. Nice and convenient. I quite like this elite, so. Oh. Well, I was trying to avoid wanding, you know? Guy keeps spamming clumsiness. It's not good for me. Not good for me at all. There we go. Glimmer of Light. It's not as big of a heal, but like it's a very reliable one. Let's see, does this head up? Well, I'm gonna naturally go to Gate of Desolation later, so it doesn't matter right now. I think I might actually swap over to using this. Jamie's gaze for emergency heals and this for party healing. Okay, that's good. I do want to do this quest though, like I said. I want the NPCs from it. Just to make sure nobody got a level up in the meantime. I wasn't paying attention. Sunspear Dervish, Sunspear Monk. Random other characters. You seek the dwarves. You sell like Sunspear armor, right? It's like they needed a Shunlight chest out here, and then this place would actually be useful. Okay, yeah, you make the Astani stuff and the Sunspear stuff. I don't know. It's hard to escape tattoos as Peak Monk. Thank you. These guys are jerks. Even that 1 second recharge can feel long at times. It's just wild. Let's clear these things out. The relatively quick activation is really nice, though. Okay, I'm gonna just counteract this Contra Phantasm. I saw a splinter weapon go off in there, and it was glorious. The thing is, healing burst, healing HP is really strong. Like AoE, party heal. I do have Boon Signet. Boon Signet would be better if I was speccing a bit more highly in that, though. Hamid. It just says seal an eye for your reward, so I guess I don't need to guide them or anything. Earned 80 HP. Oh yeah. Okay, I just did see that Elias leveled up from that. Good. Happy for that. No, this is fine. I might bump this up a little bit, but for now that's fine. Actually, no, let's go ahead and bump it up. There's no reason not to. I'm just wasting attribute points if I don't. Yeah, this quest is really good because it gets me the hero skills. Sunspear skills. Oh yeah, Seed of Life. Absolutely should be picking that up. I don't think there's anything else here that I need right this moment. I'll grab Necrosis. That might be really useful in the tournament. And nothing Necromancer here that I really want. Monk skills. Okay, I'm gonna grab Heal Party here, and might as well grab Strength of Honor. Okay, excellent. The Great Escape. This way. Different ways that I could go for this. They kind of expect you to come from here, so I probably want to swap this out for Heal Party. I don't think I want to do that enough to like rezone and everything right now, but once it's time for going back to the Sunspear, whatever, or put on Passage actually, I think. That one, yeah, okay. Once I go to Pokemon Passage, I'll probably swap that out because the energy cost of Heal Party is something that I can mitigate by being a human being that knows not to spam it every single time it's on recharge. Am I throwing shade at the heroes who do not know how to do that? Yes. Yes, I am. Do they deserve it? Oh, yeah. Honestly, one of the huge differences between this compass down here in Guild Wars 1 and then what they have in Guild Wars 2 is Guild Wars 2 is like this, where it rotates you on the thing. Sorry for everyone who's getting motion sick. Ooh, plant fibers. Whereas this always orients in the way that you are facing, right? Like, as I rotate, like, if I want to line up where my objective is, it's that way. And that actually is a subtle and huge difference. It might be possible to change the way that the compass works in Guild Wars 2 now that I think about it, and that's something I should look at. But that definitely affects things. Oh, yeah, this area is just full of these jerks. But it does do like a huge difference on like your sense of navigation. You'll notice that I don't tend to play with the mission map up all the time. I just pop it up when it feels like it would be notably useful to me. And the reason for that is pretty simple, but it's because I don't need it up all the time. I just want it for like a quick orientation or things like that. Otherwise, it clutters the screen, and because I have this, that's good enough. See, this is the point where you heal party. But Light of Deliverance is this, or Heaven's Light is a smaller heal, so. Weiss is back there making minions as he should. Ow. She's probably getting headbutt like crazy. It's neat looking off into the distance with the rock formations over there and dip and the thing you can see kind of even further. I don't know. The way they handle distant views in this game works better for me than the way they handle them in Guild Wars 2. Bunch of mandragores running around. They don't seem that threatening. They're definitely not as threatening as the Eye of the North mandragore, that's for sure. Those guys are no good. Okay, time to clear out some cornins. Gives them nice and protection. Tends to get pretty heavily targeted. Honestly, maybe I should run Light of Deliverance on this character. Good for keeping the party topped off. I don't know. Of course, if I do that, I'm going to be severely limiting my self-heal ability, but that's probably not too important. I was not expecting the shots to go right over me too. Yeah, once all those guys are dead, it turns out people stop taking damage. You need enemies to take damage from for you to be taking damage from enemies. It feels kind of obvious when you say it like that, but you know. Is that the last one? Probably. Yeah, it was. A signal scout group just went down. If they weren't dead, I'd kill them myself. I think this guy is a barrage boss. My recollection is. I see my memory was not incorrect. A weird way of saying that, but also accurate. Hey, Goss. Okay, now I can see Aloni for my reward. I think that was a kind of an interesting decision that they made, where Koss gets captured and you can't actually add him to your party for a while. And it's like, that's actually... I'm kind of impressed that they decided to make that decision. Also, one of the things that's really, like... a limitation, I guess you could say, of Guild Wars 1 is they don't have distance LOD models, particularly. Like, they just have the map. It's like from right here, like, what am I looking at? Like, this bit of terrain is arguably maybe this, but I should be seeing Gandara over there. Like, Gandara should be looming on the horizon, right? This is not a small fortress, and yet we can't see it. And why can't we see it? They just decided not to put it in there. Now, like, sometimes they do. Fort Rannoch can be seen from behind in a couple of maps where it should be, but a lot of times, especially if body of water is involved, you can't see anything beyond it, and it's not a huge deal, to be quite honest. But it would be cool if you could, you know? Like, I think about seeing distant views in Elden Ring or one of the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom, one of the Switch titles, or I've been playing Dragon Quest XI a lot lately, and you can see stuff in the distance in that as well. So it's just like a little thing that would enhance the feeling of the size of the world, right? Excuse me. And it's the sort of thing that like helps you get a better sense of the breadth of everywhere. Okay, I'm going to try HP here for a bit, see what I think of it. Might swap back around. However, so we'll see. We'll see what I decide to do. Okay, I have to have cost in my party for this one, which is fine, I guess. I kind of want to keep Zenmai around, so I'm going to drop Milani and slot on Koss. What's Koss's bar? Dragon Slash. Yeah, that's fine. What is he using? Yeah, he's using bad early game equipment. That is about what I expected. Unfortunately, I mean, I could give him a better shield with slash bonus, but otherwise, I don't really have a whole lot for him. He's at least ruined a little bit. Drop off these plant fibers that they generously dropped for me. Ooh, stack of plant fibers. Now that is nice. Unfortunately, the merchants in this outpost are all the freaking way over there, which is a nonsensical decision if you ask me. But I didn't make it, so... I'll go for a bit longer, but... I don't know if there's anything over here, then. I'm really looking to get... Watchful Healing is, like, fine. I don't have Infuse yet. Fascinating. Words of Comfort is fine. Restful Breeze is not great. Nothing here that I'm especially looking to grab, though. Right. Costs. And the hero shall lead them. The reason why this is an outpost, by the way, or like an explorable zone, is that way they can change the NPCs that are there. I think if they had developed the sort of phasing technology that they have with Guild Wars 2, they would have employed that, but what Guild Wars 2 can do is it can render or like treat as present NPCs based upon your like narrative progress and stuff like that. Which is really good. It's a really nice bit of functionality, but they didn't have it at this time. 2 weeks would probably add it. I'm not sure how difficult it would be. Because you need to be able to set up sort of the conditionality for interaction. And there's probably some things that would make that a bit difficult. It's the sort of thing that like feels kind of like an obvious solution to me. But the thing is, you never know what underlying hoods up. I watched an interesting video recently from like 6 months ago or something, I think it was, talking about the development of Audacity, the free audio editing software. And the people who are in charge of it now, at this point, is passed through a couple of hands, it sounds like. But the person who's in charge of it now basically released a video talking about the process they've gone through with developing Audacity version 3 and then going into Audacity 4. And some of the challenges that they face with that. And one of the big ones was like the huge amount of technical debt. So for those who are like not technologically familiar, the concept of technical debt is basically the longer a project goes on and the more complicated the code base, the more convoluted things end up becoming, because stuff kind of gets often. There can be all sorts of reasons for this, but stuff will kind of get hacked together. And so this creates like weird connections and dependencies so a dependency from a programmatic standpoint is where a bit of code uses, or like where something uses something else, right? So it depends upon that other thing. So like if you change the thing that it depends on, that can break it or whatever. I'm being vague there because while I'm using it in the programmatic sense of like this bit of code is referenced over here and like maybe that doesn't entirely make sense. Ooh, chunk of drake flesh, nice. What can end up like you can have other things that function as dependencies, but if those things change, then it can break your program or whatever. Anyway, they were talking about how they had like 20 some odd years of accumulated technical debt from like a huge variety of contributors, and it just was making it so that way you're trying to do one change over here and it breaks something over there, and it's the sort of thing where like code bases can become really complicated and in ways that you don't really expect from the outside. I remember working on Highway to the Moon, a game that I made with friends from college, which is available on Steam. It's pretty cheap. But discovering that there was an error with some of the game over like handling stuff, which if you're good enough at the game is like easy enough to avoid. And there's I forget exactly what the details of the bug are at this point as well. But I was like trying to figure out, okay, how difficult would it be to fix this? I was like, oh, this is like really wonky and hard to repair. Like completely non-trivial to repair. Extremely challenging to repair. So it is not repaired. And again, it's the sort of thing where it's like, do I want to have that fixed? Yeah, absolutely. But wanting to have it fixed and actually fixing it are two entirely different things. Ventus Cemetery, you say? I think I was okay with Heal Party. Do I want to... Yeah, I should clear out my inventory before I go gallivanting around. Do I have a spot where I'm... Yes. Okay, actually I have a good supply of chunks of drake flesh. I'll need 2 more. Ultimately. Oh, right. I don't think about those condition ones, but yeah, those ones are definitely mods as well. Ijapo. I would like to sell this stuff off to you. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, that's probably ancient armor, I think, with chaos gloves. I was not actually sure where the thing also came from, so. I'd really like to get that to 13. 13 is a break point for energy gain from critical strikes, so. More soul reaping and some healing prayers. He's level 20 now. So that's cool. Still want minion pile, though. Zenmai, I want to get up there, so I'm going to bring her with me. Plus, frankly, her stance breaking is really useful for costs. I've got a lot of hex removal, honestly. I could probably find something better to put in that spot. I could slot in Foul Feast. Do I want Foul Feast, though? I don't think I do. I don't think that's the best way of handling conditions. I think I will grab like a no spec mend condition just to have condition removal. Mend ailment, there's an argument for. And that they won't spam it as much, which sometimes is desirable. Yeah, I think that's fine for condition removal stuff. I think we're all good here. For this mission, I arguably don't need Jamie's gaze, so I think I will drop it for the thing that I have to get to be able to leave. Yes, we are ready. I'll probably wrap up soon after I finish this. Again, I'm not really thrilled about having to get this skill, but you can't actually continue here until you do, so... It's not like it's not useful, it is, but... So back to that one time that I failed this mission super hard and only had 3 Sunspear evacuees left alive, and they were stuck on something, and that allowed me to actually be able to finish the mission. I don't need this open right now. I almost tried to hit 8 to grab the mass heal. There's a blue ping, which is rare. My brain said blue ping sounds like bloopy. For those who don't know, bloopies are what they call blue rupees in the Legend of Zelda games, which are worth usually 5 rupees total. Also, rupees as a currency are very freaking weird. Not like named conceptually, but it's a video game currency thing, where it functions like an electronic bank account rather than like cash. So it makes this very weird. It happens in this game too, obviously, but it creates this very weird thing where I'm a little preoccupied with trying to keep my party alive. But it creates this very weird effect where, especially for the currency cap and stuff like that, the wallet size. I don't know. Part of me wants to make a game that handles currency quote unquote correctly. Part of me thinks that sounds absolutely miserable. Okay, but like, stop after you kill these guys, okay? I'm gonna go around here. Just top everyone off. Yeah, sentry trap there, just waiting to attack me. I'm looking forward to some later missions. I always find this one extremely tedious, largely because whenever I'm doing it, I always want to get the Master's Reward also. And the Master's Reward on this one is annoying. You have to do this, like, they did a really good job of scattering these all over the place to where there's no convenient path. Just, like, line them up and knock them down. So you're just kind of wandering around, trying to do your best not to get caught by the main thing while taking out all of these. Looks like we should be able to slide between those. Nope. Looks like we accidentally caught aggro on their spirit of all things, which actually is pretty common. Annoyingly. We would have triggered the thing by now if this was too close. Grab my loot. They can leave their spirit of infuriating heat there. Thank you very much. We need to take out this guard post. Sentry trap is up on the hill, but not over here. Yeah, heal party actually does what it says on the tin. Does heal my party for like 5 HP more at this spec than the other one does too, which is kind of funny. I feel like that one might go too close to the thing. I don't remember. I think this is an easily interrupted action. Not ideal, but... Zenmai, you still haven't leveled up yet. What are you even doing here? I wouldn't be surprised if she hits level 20 by the end of the mission, actually. One of the things that you're seeing happen here is these enemies use whirling defense, and we have 8 Sunspear evacuees that are all wanding stuff a lot of the time. So you end up with the situations where the Sunspear evacuees are wanding people with whirling defense, and your front line is taking a bajillion damage off of whirling defense triggers. It's actually kind of brutal. Ow. Half the guard posts have been neutralized, so that's good. You know, I don't think I've ever tried to take down the garrison. I'm not sure if it's possible. The big concern is getting that close would probably get all of your Sunspear evacuees killed, and that would likely fail you the mission. Zenmai is not proactive about keeping Shroud of Distress up on herself. I probably should consider another enchantment that she would maintain. It being under an enchantment is the necessary condition for that being Golden Fox Strike being unblockable. Golden means requires enchantment in the language of assassin skills, which I think is really cool. Like the assassin, I love the naming scheme for assassin skills because they're all like, this name does this sort of effect. Lotus gains you energy. Black requires a hex. Golden requires you to be enchanted. Mantis cares about crippled. Ox does knockdowns. Fox is unblockable, is like unblockability or whatever. Like there's a, if you look at the name schemes, the same sort of thing is actually also true of Paragon Chants, where the chants all actually have a very like well thought out naming scheme. So if you look at like Lyric of Zeal, Lyrics care about using signets, and Zeal gives you energy. So Lyric of Zeal should give you energy when you use a signet. Zealous Anthem, Anthems trigger when you use attacks. So Zealous Anthem gives you energy when you use an attack skill. And like Anthem of Flame sets things on fire when you use an attack skill. Refrains are echoes that refresh themselves when a shout or chant ends, and finales trigger when a shout or chant ends. Or echoes that trigger. It was like, we don't need to fight that particular group. So there's a lot of like thought and care. Songs trigger off of any skill. Ballads trigger off of when you get hit. But there's only one ballad. Ballad of Restoration. But you gain health when you get hit. They could have done other ballads. So like there's a whole like naming scheme for like this word means this going on both with dagger attacks and with chants, which I think is super cool. I don't know where the sentry trap was. Oh, over there. Yeah, we can safely ignore that though. I'm not going back over there. Probably should go ahead and just take out this group. Chances that we run into them again is extremely high. Oh my goodness. Trying to cast Shield of Absorption through that is rough. I reapplied Prosperet to her because I'm pretty sure it got ripped off of her. I wasn't paying attention to anything except how fast her health bar was moving, so I could have been wrong. Must be closer to the trap to disable it. Take that sentry trap. Okay, let's go clear out the last 3 of these. It's annoying, but you have to backtrack for them, more or less. Way of Perfection is a skill I should try on her to see if that works for an enchantment that they maintain. Yeah, we're curving back towards the entrance to this map. I do appreciate that the more you go along, the more mission maps become, or explorable maps are mission maps. That's something about prophecies of like, I wish more of the mission maps were explorable. They made some of them that way in War and Kryta, but that's actually kind of become a wishlist item for me for 2 weeks, is for them to, I would like for them to make all prophecies mission maps have explorable versions. Look at the draw distance over there to those distant mountains. That's so cool to me. Obviously, some of them are like rendering in a little bit as I get closer, but them necromancers are rough. I'm gonna turn this trap off and then leave. I like being able to look out that far and like see those distant things, because of course that's the edge of the map right there, right? Like we're seeing there. So then it's going out to see more distant mountains. And where exactly those are supposed to be located, I couldn't say. But that's the sort of thing that I was talking about, like when we're in the southern part of that one map previous, the Archrock Ward, where I should be able to see Gandhar and I can't. I'm like, oh, that's a little bit of a bummer, because it creates this greater sense of the world when you can see a further distance out. And for what it's worth, Guild Wars 2 is not super better at that. It just tends to have larger maps that make that less of an issue. But it's not, thus far, long range distance level of detail models like for terrain is not something Arena has shown particular proclivity for. I like these reeds, rushes. I don't know. These water hole plants. They're pretty neat. Just assuming who's going to get targeted, because Zenmai's been such a target. If she isn't level 20 by the end of this, I will be slightly surprised, but oh, we'll see. It's because the master reward also will be a several thousand experience. That contributes to sort of that belief. That's an R spike for you. And then all of our casters absolutely end their line. I think, is it 2 Fabi that's next? Yeah, I think I just saw the level up marker for her. Margaret. Got my boat? That depends. Got my money? Yep, Zenmai is level 20 now. That's good. That would be one way I could take it. I could take this. Yeah, I think I might do this split. 11, 10, 10. Drop a point in healing prayers. Boy, my assassin needs more skills, eh? I say that because I'm looking at the skills I have access to on Zenmai. It's a pretty small collection, all things considered. I'm going to stop by the hero skill trainer over here. Pickin' of his square fame. Almost certainly not, but you know. Yeah, let's grab these. Mending is probably a little bit extraneous, but it was good to unlock reversal of damage. Hi, we made it back. There's no room for politics. We have somebody who's clearly evil to defeat. Okay, yeah, there's a cutscene or something here. A talkie talks. That's fine. I could slot in Seed of Life, actually. That's a nice choice for certain situations. What is my Sunspear rank, anyway? Boy, I have, like, no experience on this character. Oh, when did I get Survivor 1? Ah, just now. I've died 20 times and gained... Huh. Funky. Not something I was trying for, but... I mean, I guess I accept it. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff between now and actually getting to Vabi. I'm going to go to Sunspear Great Hall. There's another hero skill trainer here, Shiloh. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to this fine fellow with these gigantic shields all around. Monk skills. Okay, well, I can't say that I'm thrilled by either of those, but they were skills I needed to unlock, and I could spend hero skill points to get them, so I am happy in that regard. Port of Spirits. Kind of a weird skill. 10 energy is a lot. This is another, like, anti-spike skill, honestly. I feel like they got more and more convoluted with some of these skills. I need to go this way. Yes. Laro. Man, these NPCs just standing right by corners. They're just doing a really good job of corner blocking. I do think this is really neat that you can talk to this guy and be like, we are ready to go to Dajka Inlet. And he will just take you to Dajka Inlet. And there you get the map for free. No muss, no fuss. Just map. Is very nice. I probably am not going to keep Zenmai around super much longer, but I do want to remember to put Way of Perfection on her. Yeah, let's go ahead and continue a little bit further. I'm going to be hitting Centaur Blackmail really soon. I'm going to dip into Floodplain of Macalon. Hang on. Should I be trying to grab this stupid signet? Where's Commander Nos? Oh, that's an awkward spot. Yeah, I'm not going over there. Right. What do I think it is? Yeah. That's a really awkward spot. I'll get it eventually on some other character. I don't need to get it on this one. Reforged characters running around. Eventually, veterans will be the odd ones out instead of Reforged for their presentation. I appreciate that they're kind of doing things that way. Technically, moving my characters on this account over to Reforged would make acquiring skills cheaper, but I'm not bothering. I already grabbed all of the monk skills off of you, right? Yes, I did. Goodbye. Also, I'm down to 1 hero skill point, so, you know, that's also a thing. Another skill I was thinking of sticking on here. Seed of Life, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to keep Big Heal. Where we do kind of our scouting mission and then spot the centaur getting captured. I'm going to go up to Rylon Refuge after that, but I'm not going to go much further than that. Maybe just grab Centaur Blackmail. The main thing is that I'm going to want to wrap up fairly soon. For supper related reasons. What have you conditions on that poor guy? There's Jahai built where Taras defeated Palawa Joko. It looks to be superbly guarded. It is. I'd probably stop accumulating Survivor if we tried it. But it's also conquerable. There's stuff up there. Etc. I don't like how much of a train we've got going on here. We're really spread out. I'm going to opt to kill these bugs right here. I'm going to opt to kill both groups of bugs, apparently. Doesn't seem ideal, but... yeah, the awkwardness of not being able to target himself with the Condi removal. I'm probably going to choose Margaret again on this character. I've just been choosing that particular path through the Nightfall campaign. I do have a Nightfall's book, right? Yeah, okay. Wanted to make sure I hadn't done 2 missions for it and not gotten them recorded. Remember, always expert salvage your spider webs to get a bolt of silk. It's my favorite spiderweb Guild Wars 1 tip. Honestly, I would love to know what the rationale was for ArenaNet limiting the number of energy costs that they use. Printed on skills. There's a bunch of skills I think would be better balanced at slightly lower energy costs than they are. Like Orison of Healing at like 3 energy would be actually very good. We need to turn back here in order to be able to trigger this. Here on my microphone, that was tickling my cheek. Now I can take out this group. Okay. that's all I need to do for that particular quest. I am going to continue on to Rylon Refuge because I want that outpost on my map, and we're like halfway there, or 2/3 of the way there, or whatever. So we'll grab that. We'll turn in this quest, grab Centaur Blackmail, and wrap up there. So everyone knows what the plan is. Floodplain of Mankalan. I have a couple of skills I'm going to want to capture on my warrior out here, actually. Decapitate is also captured out here. Hey, crocodile, I'm here. Fight me. Accidentally opened up the chat window. You probably couldn't see it, but it would have been annoying if I had left it open. The Blue Tongue Hecate are the healers. And can be seen by their use of Word of Healing. There might be some drakes here that I want to hunt. There are, but not really. Ones that I care that much about. Okay, let's just go into the outposts. Rylon Refuge. This becomes a mission outpost, but not until you have Master of Whispers in your party, which is going to be for a while. Okay, Centaur Blackmail. Oh, right. I should clear out my inventory. Let's do that also. We'll probably monk more next time as well. I like the idea of getting this character further through Nightfall, getting more stuff unlocked. I do need to spend some time on some of my other characters, but my assassin in particular was clearly showing signs of neglect. Minor Wilderness Survival. Minor Fast Casting might have value. A lot of Mesmer runes have been way down, though, so I think they were sold off quite a great deal. A great deal of selling off of Mesmer runes. I feel like I keep extending what my sign-off time is, but Purity, no. Wow, even Major Vigor is way down. Okay, that's definitely not worth anything. My Blessed is one of those that sometimes is worth something. Minor Fast Casting has a little bit of value. Enough value that I am going to go ahead and pull this out. Stalwart. Oh, Stalwart has some value to it. That has enough to want to pull out. Oh, 210. Minor Wilderness is not really much, though. Okay, I think, does my Gwen have one of these? The easiest way to check is actually here. Oh, there's some sort of wonky thing going on. No, she does not. So I'm probably going to give her this minor fast casting. Rune. There we go. This is, you have a +2 bonus to all of your secondary attributes of your secondary profession. That's kind of neat. Oh, while I'm here, I should grab more seconds of capture as well. This Ellie looking person sells sickness of capture, so. Okay. Excellent. Excellent and good. Okay. So next time we will be dealing with the Centaur blackmailing us. But until then, thank you all very much for watching. And take care. Goodbye. Waving through the party panel. Okay, farewell, everyone.